You've been told that wealth is luck. That power comes to those who stumble upon fortune or to those who wait long enough for life to hand them a chance. Lies. The world is not built on fairness, and the successful do not wait. They signal. They emit an aura that bends people, opportunities, and money toward them like iron to a magnet. Wealth is not random, it is gravitational, and your aura is the field that controls it. Most men live unaware of this power. They carry themselves like prey, hesitant, apologetic, unsure of their own worth. And so they attract wolves. But you are here because you refuse to be prey. You are ready to sharpen your presence until it slices through resistance. You are ready to master the unseen influence that Machiavelli himself understood. That power is perception, and perception is reality. From this moment on, you will train your aura the way a warrior trains steel, relentlessly, coldly, without apology. Because when your aura radiates authority, doors open before you even touch the handle. Wealth moves toward you without permission. Comment below. My aura bends reality. 2. The mask of power. Every man wears a mask. The difference is simple. The weak wear a mask to hide their fear. The powerful wear a mask to project their strength. This is the first law of aura. Never reveal the chaos inside you. The world only respects certainty, even if it's manufactured. Think of Machiavelli's prince. He taught rulers to appear merciful, faithful, humane, even when they were not. Why? Because perception rules men more than truth. This is dark psychology in motion. People follow what they see, not what is. Your aura, therefore, must be crafted like armor, smooth, impenetrable, controlled. Understand this. Your emotions are tools, not masters. Anger, fear, excitement, these are signals the world reads like open wounds. To train your aura, you must starve the world of your weakness. You speak less. You calculate more. You let silence work in your favor, because silence unsettles. Silence forces others to lean in, to wonder what you are thinking, and that wondering gives you power. The mask you choose to wear is not deceit, it's strategy. A calm presence when chaos reigns, a steady gaze when others panic. This makes your aura magnetic. This makes wealth lean toward you, because wealth always seeks certainty. Now answer me, what mask will you choose? Comment below. I wear the mask of power. 3. Controlling the game. Power is never granted, it is seized. Life is not a level playing field, it is a battlefield disguised as order. Those who claim otherwise are the ones already under control. Understand this. If you are not pulling the strings, you are the puppet. Machiavelli stripped away illusions when he said men are driven by two primal forces, fear and self-interest. These forces govern every transaction, every alliance, every betrayal. Learn to see them, and you will see the invisible chains that bind men. Most people shuffle through life like pawns, moved by rules they never wrote. You must stop being a pawn. You must become the hand that moves the board. Step 1. Observation. Cold, ruthless observation. Train yourself to detach from the emotional static that blinds weaker minds. Watch people as you would watch a predator stalk its prey. Notice the chatter of the insecure, the darting eyes of the greedy, the trembling voice of the desperate. These are not random quirks. They are coordinates on a map that reveals their vulnerabilities. Step 2. Withhold. He who speaks first loses. He who reveals too much loses leverage. Learn to starve the world of your intentions. When you hold back, others fill the silence with their own projections, exposing what you never had to ask for. Mystery is a weapon sharper than any blade. Step 3. Precision. Do not act out of impulse. Do not chase. Do not beg. Weak men rush into traps. Powerful men move like surgeons, measured, exact, final. Every move should extract value. tighten control, expand influence. When you master these 3 steps, observe, withhold, and strike, you shift from being controlled to becoming the controller. You radiate dominance, and when your aura signals control, money, opportunities, and power orbit you as if pulled by gravity. Remember, fortune does not favor the pawn. Fortune bends to the player. Comment below, I am the player, not the piece. 4. The aura of indifference. Need is weakness. The moment you show need, you lose leverage. You surrender the high ground. And in this world, the one who kneels first loses first. Wealth, power, influence, they are never drawn to desperation. They recoil from it. They are drawn instead to those who radiate calm indifference, to those who seem untouchable, to those who could walk away without hesitation. Understand this clearly. Indifference is not apathy. It is not laziness. It is strategy. You still want, you still plan, you still move with intent, but you cloak it beneath a controlled surface. Machiavelli himself advised rulers to appear merciful, faithful, even generous, but beneath that mask remain calculating, detached, ruthless. Why? Because when others sense you don't need them, they need you. And the one who is needed controls the game. Indifference is psychological armor. It shields you from manipulation because nothing hooks into you. No offer dazzles you, no rejection wounds you, no promise binds you. When others realize they cannot sway you with flattery, gifts, or approval, they fall into uncertainty. That uncertainty becomes your weapon. It keeps them chasing, second-guessing, leaning toward you for stability. Look around at the powerful. Notice how they move. Slow, measured, deliberate. They rarely explain themselves. They rarely rush. Their time seems more valuable than gold because they've mastered scarcity. And scarcity breeds desire. The less accessible you appear, the more the world wants access to you. To train this aura, practice restraint. Hold back your words. Limit your reactions. Detach from outcomes. When you walk into a room, let your silence speak first. When someone seeks your attention, pause before giving it. When life pressures you to rush, slow down. Every pause, every moment of controlled stillness amplifies your value. And here's the paradox. The less you chase, the more you attract. The less you explain, the more authority you command. The less you need, the more the world bends to fulfill your wants. Indifference makes you magnetic. It makes wealth lean toward you because wealth seeks certainty, and nothing is more certain than the man who needs nothing. Comment below, I master the power of indifference. 5. Strategic dominance. Power is not only about what you project, it is about how you position yourself in the battlefield of life. Every interaction, every alliance, every rivalry is part of the game. And in this game, dominance is not established by brute force. It is established by strategy. Strategy is what separates kings from pawns, predators from prey. Machiavelli understood this truth. To dominate, you must never fight battles that do not serve you. He advised rulers to measure every action by its consequence, to strike only when the reward outweighs the risk. Weak men chase every skirmish. Strong men know that conserving energy is power. You do not waste your strength proving yourself to lesser men. You do not waste your fire on enemies unworthy of your flame. You calculate, you position, you wait. Strategic dominance begins with leverage. Leverage is the invisible sword of influence. When you hold what others want, status, resources, information, even your presence, you control them. The wise do not give away leverage, they accumulate it. That means guarding your time, mastering your skills, and keeping your plans hidden until they cannot be opposed. The less predictable you are, the harder you are to defeat. Then comes alliances. Never confuse alliances with friendships. In the Machiavellian sense, alliances are tools, not bonds. People are loyal only to their self-interest. If your path benefits theirs, they stand with you. If it doesn't, they stand against you. Accept this without bitterness. Use it. Build temporary bridges when they serve your climb, and burn them the moment they no longer hold weight. Cold, yes. Necessary, absolutely. Enemies too are tools. A visible rival gives you focus. An open antagonist makes you sharper. The key is not to destroy every enemy, but to position them so that their opposition works in your favor. Sometimes the shadow of an enemy makes your aura grow stronger. Sometimes allowing a rival to exist reminds others of your superiority. Control the perception, and the enemy becomes an asset. Finally, dominance requires timing. A move made too early is weakness. A move made too late is submission. You must develop the patience of a predator. Observe. Stalk. Restrain yourself until the strike is inevitable. When you do act, act decisively, leaving no room for retaliation. Strategic dominance is not about endless motion. It is about the precision of a single blow that changes everything. This is how kings are made. This is how wealth, power, and influence are drawn into your orbit. Not through chaos, not through noise, but through silent positioning, ruthless patience, and strikes that echo long after the moment passes. Remember, dominance is not an accident. It is an architecture. Build it, master it, live it. Comment below. I build dominance through strategy. 6. Dark persuasion. Power is not only in what you control physically, it is in what you control mentally. The strongest kings and rulers in history did not rule by sword alone. They ruled by persuasion, by bending perception, by shaping belief. The battlefield of the mind is where true conquest begins. Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But the highest form of persuasion is when men love you for what benefits them and fear you for what you could take away. This is the dual edge of dark persuasion. People see you as both the light that can elevate them and the shadow that could bury them. They respect you because they must. They follow you because they choose. And that combination makes you untouchable. Dark persuasion begins with understanding human desire. Every person is a bundle of hungers for recognition, for validation, for security, for belonging, for power. Identify which hunger drives them, and you hold the key to their decisions. To the ambitious, you offer opportunity. To the insecure, you offer reassurance. To the greedy, you dangle wealth. To the fearful, you offer safety. You don't persuade with logic. You persuade with the promise of feeding their hunger. Second, persuasion thrives on mirroring and mystery. When people feel seen, they lower their defenses, reflect their tone, echo their values, align with their language. This creates the illusion of deep connection. But never reveal all of yourself in return. The less they know about your true core, the more they obsess over it. Mystery makes your aura magnetic. It forces them to fill in the blanks with admiration or fear, both of which serve your control. Third, persuasion requires scarcity. The rarer your attention, the more valuable it becomes. Speak less, appear less, give less. Every drop of your time becomes a treasure, and people will fight for it. This is how you command loyalty without demanding it. You make yourself scarce, and people compete to secure your presence. Fourth, persuasion requires anchoring. Associate your presence with intense emotion. Make people feel powerful, protected, or inspired when they are near you. Humans do not remember words, they remember feelings. If your aura becomes the trigger for empowerment, they will crave your influence again and again. This is how leaders are built. This is how movements are born. Finally, persuasion demands control of silence. The weak fill silence with endless chatter, hoping to please. The powerful allow silence to stretch. They let others drown in the weight of it. Silence forces people to reveal themselves. Silence makes your every word feel like a decree. Master silence, and you master influence. But here is the darkness most never accept. Persuasion is not about truth. It is about utility. You tell people what they need to hear, not what is. You give them illusions that lead them where you want them to go. Some call this manipulation. Machiavelli called it governing. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be followed. Dark persuasion is the art of control without chains. It makes others choose the very path you laid for them, believing it was their idea all along. That is the highest form of power, when people fight to serve your interests, convinced they are serving their own. Train your aura in persuasion, and you will never beg for loyalty again. It will be given freely. You will not chase wealth, it will chase you. Comment below, my words bend reality. 7. Fear and respect. The question has been asked for centuries, is it better to be loved or feared? Machiavelli answered with brutal clarity, it is safer to be feared. Love is fragile. Love fades with disappointment, jealousy, or betrayal. Fear, on the other hand, binds deeper because it taps into survival itself. But the wise understand, the highest form of power comes not from fear alone, not from love alone, but from the ruthless balance of both. Fear ensures loyalty. Respect ensures endurance. To train your aura to attract wealth, you must radiate this dual force, the warmth of respect and the cold edge of fear. You must be the man people admire, but also the man they dare not cross. Fear does not mean cruelty, it does not mean rage, it means consequence. Your aura must communicate without words that betrayal will never be forgiven, that disrespect will never be overlooked, that those who stand against you will regret it. People respect boundaries, they fear punishments. You do not need to raise your voice. You do not need to show violence. Fear is cultivated by consistency. If you say there will be a price, there must always be a price. Respect, however, is built on discipline and mastery. People respect the man who controls himself when others lose control. They respect the man who remains calm when storms rise. They respect the man who delivers results without excuses. Discipline is respect in motion. It shows the world you can govern yourself, and therefore you can govern others. Combine the two, fear and respect, and your aura becomes unshakable. Colleagues hesitate to betray you. Rivals think twice before opposing you. Followers lean closer, knowing they will be rewarded in your presence but destroyed if they betray it. This is the architecture of authority. History proves it. Great leaders who ruled only through fear eventually faced rebellion. Those who ruled only through love were devoured by betrayal. But those who ruled with both, men like Augustus, Alexander, and yes, Machiavelli's own prince, were untouchable. They understood human psychology at its darkest core. People want protection, but they also want to know there is a cost for betrayal. Love without fear makes you weak. Fear without respect makes you hated. But the balance makes you immortal. So how do you train this aura? First, eliminate softness. You can be kind, but never soft. Kindness without strength is weakness, and weakness invites predators. If you are generous, let it be known that your generosity is your choice, not their right. If you forgive, let it be seen as a gift, not a habit. Second, broadcast consequence. Your time is valuable. Waste it once, and they will never access it again. Your loyalty is rare. Betray it, and it is lost forever. Your respect is earned. Disrespect it, and it is erased. Set boundaries so sharp they cut. Enforce them ruthlessly, every time. Third, embody discipline. Wake when you choose, not when the world dictates. Move with deliberate calm, not frantic chaos. Speak less, but ensure that when you do, your words land with weight. The disciplined man is respected because he becomes a symbol of what others cannot master within themselves. Fourth, leverage silence and presence. Fear is amplified not by screaming, but by stillness. Respect is amplified not by being everywhere, but by being rare. The less accessible you are, the more others value access. The more composed you remain, the more others doubt their own composure. Your aura is strengthened in what you withhold, not in what you give. Finally, deliver results. Nothing builds respect like proof. When you say you will do something, you do it. When you promise, you fulfill. When you commit, you conquer. Words without results are dust. Results without words are thunder. When you embody this duality, your aura sends a clear message. Approach me, and you will rise. Betray me, and you will fall. This is not arrogance. It is law. And people obey law when it is absolute. Fear without respect is tyranny. Respect without fear is fragility. But together, they create the untouchable aura, the magnetic field that attracts loyalty, wealth, and power. Comment below. I rule through fear and respect. 8. The economics of power. Money is not just paper. It is not digits on a screen. It is not simply comfort, luxury, or security. Money is power, condensed, liquid power. It buys obedience, creates opportunities, and signals status. But if you see money only as a means to spend, you will forever be a slave to it. To master wealth, you must treat it as Machiavelli treated influence, not as an end in itself, but as a weapon. Think of money as a sword. The fool waves it wildly, showing it to everyone, desperate for validation. The wise keep it sheathed, sharp, and ready, drawing it only when it strikes maximum impact. This is the psychology of wealth. Your aura must project control over money, not dependence on it. When you show the world that you cannot be bought, you rise above the level of merchants and beggars. You enter the realm of kings. Understand this: the rich are not respected because of what they buy. They are respected because of the discipline money requires to acquire and maintain. Wealth without discipline collapses. Fortune without strategy evaporates. This is why lottery winners fall and dynasties endure. To train your aura to attract wealth, you must show the world that you govern money, not that money governs you. So how do you wield money as a tool of power? First, control your consumption. The masses spend to feel significant. They chase validation with new toys, new clothes, new distractions. They bleed themselves dry to impress others who do not care. You must reverse this impulse. Spend strategically, display selectively, signal wealth without screaming it. True power is in the man who could buy anything but chooses restraint. This restraint radiates authority because scarcity makes presence more valuable. Second, invest in leverage. Machiavelli advised rulers to fortify their defenses and strengthen their position. Money is no different. Use it to build systems, skills, and networks that multiply your reach. Every dollar should either protect your power, expand your influence, or buy you time. Consumption ends. Leverage compounds. Third, control perception. Never forget, money is symbolic. People respond less to how much you have than to how you signal what you have. Appear resourceful, and you are respected. Appear desperate, and you are ignored. Even if your fortune is modest, project control, selectivity, and discipline, and others will treat you as a man of means. Aura outweighs arithmetic. Fourth, weaponize generosity. To the weak, generosity is waste. To the strong, it is investment. When you give, you must give with purpose. A calculated gift creates loyalty. A strategic loan builds dependence. A well-placed act of generosity cements your reputation as someone whose favor is priceless. But beware, never give without expectation of return. Never give out of need for approval. Your generosity is a chess move, not a confession of weakness. Fifth, maintain mystery around your wealth. Reveal too much, and you invite envy and sabotage. Reveal nothing, and you appear weak. The balance is to reveal selectively, enough to inspire respect, but never enough to expose your position. Let them wonder how much you hold. Let them guess. Ambiguity is power. And finally, master detachment. Wealth must never own you. If money is your master, you will compromise your integrity, your aura, your presence for it. The Machiavellian mind sees wealth as a tool, not a god. If necessary, you must be willing to sacrifice it, to walk away, to burn a bridge of gold if it keeps you untouchable. That detachment is what makes the wealthy unstoppable. Because when you cannot be bought, you cannot be controlled. Remember this. Money is not the destination. Money is the instrument. It builds kingdoms. It silences rivals. It amplifies your aura of power, but only when used with discipline, strategy, and indifference. Your aura must broadcast one message: I do not chase money. Money chases me. Comment below: I wield money as power. 9. The untouchable aura. Everything we have built leads here: observation, indifference, strategy, persuasion, fear, respect, wealth. These are not fragments, they are the bricks of a fortress. When assembled, they form something rare, something most men never achieve: the untouchable aura. What is the untouchable aura? It is not arrogance, it is not flash, it is the gravitational field of a man who cannot be broken, cannot be bought, cannot be swayed. The untouchable aura is when others feel your presence before you speak, when they lower their voices without knowing why, when their instincts whisper that you are different, dangerous, and inevitable. Machiavelli would call it the ultimate illusion of power, when perception becomes so strong it overshadows reality itself. But illusion is not weakness. Illusion is control. And control is the very foundation of survival in a world built on dominance and submission. So how do you forge this aura? Step 1. Total self-governance. You cannot project strength if you are a slave to impulse, anger, lust, greed, laziness. These are cracks in your armor. The untouchable aura requires mastery over self. You rise early because you choose to, not because you must. You train your body because weakness disgusts you. You govern your emotions because outbursts are for the undisciplined. Men who cannot rule themselves can never rule others. Mastery within radiates mastery without. Step 2. Controlled scarcity. Your aura grows when your presence is rare, when you are seen less, spoken to less, reached less. You do not drown yourself in constant chatter or availability. Every interaction with you becomes memorable because it is not common. This scarcity forces people to assign value to every word, every gesture, every moment you give. The untouchable man is never accessible to everyone. He is sought after, waited for, and remembered. Step 3. Silent dominance. Noise is the currency of the insecure. The powerful man trades in silence. He speaks less, but when he does, his words are decisive. He listens more, watching, measuring, calculating. Silence creates tension. Tension creates intrigue, and intrigue builds the legend of your aura. Silence is not emptiness, it is weight. Step 4. Command of perception. The untouchable aura is as much about what people believe as what is real. You must master the theater of power. Appear calm when others panic. Appear wealthy even if modest. Appear certain even when uncertain. Perception becomes reality when repeated enough. Project only strength, only calm, only inevitability. And that is what people will see, regardless of the hidden battles inside. Step 5. Leverage fear and respect simultaneously. Your aura must whisper two truths: that standing with you brings elevation, and standing against you brings destruction. You must reward loyalty visibly, so that following you feels profitable, and you must punish betrayal absolutely, so that opposition feels fatal. Never be cruel without reason, never be soft without control. Let fear and respect exist together in every relationship you hold. Step 6. Wealth as a signal, not an obsession. Money is not your master, It is your instrument. You use it to shape environments, to build systems, to project signals of control. But your aura communicates that money bends to you, not the other way around. This detachment makes you immune to corruption, and that immunity is terrifying to those who rely on bribery and temptation. Step 7. Inevitability. The strongest auras are those that feel unstoppable. When others look at you, they must believe, deep down, that you cannot be derailed. Every move you make, every challenge you face, must reinforce the perception that you always rise. Even if you fail, you never collapse. You transform the failure into strategy, the setback into fuel. This aura of inevitability makes others align with you because no one wants to fight against destiny. And here lies the final law. The untouchable aura is not loud. It does not boast. It does not seek validation. It is cold, sharp, and silent. It bends rooms. It bends decisions. It bends wealth. People follow not because you asked, but because their instincts demand it. This is what most men will never achieve because it requires the death of comfort. You cannot cling to weakness, laziness, or insecurity and expect to project inevitability. You must kill the softer version of yourself to forge the steel version that others feel compelled to orbit. The untouchable aura is rare, but once built, it cannot be ignored. It attracts opportunities, it bends loyalty, it pulls wealth, it silences rivals, and it makes betrayal nearly unthinkable, because to betray you is to step into destruction. Remember, the world does not reward the loudest, it rewards the strongest aura, and the untouchable aura is the highest form of strength. Comment below, my aura is untouchable. 10. The final ascension. You've walked through the gates of perception. You've stripped yourself of weakness. You've studied the mask of power, the art of indifference, the precision of strategy, the mechanics of persuasion, the duality of fear and respect, and the weaponization of wealth. Now comes the fusion, the ascension into something most men will never achieve, the complete sovereign self. This is not motivation, this is not feel-good philosophy, this is war. And in war, there are only two kinds of men, the controlled and the controllers. You are here to ascend into the second. The final ascension is the embodiment of the trained aura. It is not just theory, it is lived reality. It is when your aura becomes so sharp, so commanding, that others sense it before you move, before you speak, before you even enter the room. It is when wealth flows toward you, not because you chase it, but because you radiate inevitability. It is when betrayal dies before it reaches your door, because the cost of opposing you is too heavy to pay. So what does the ascension require? First, absolute detachment from validation. The common man bleeds himself dry for recognition. He bends to applause, desperate for acceptance. But applause is a leash, approval is a chain. The ascended man needs neither. He moves with a calm certainty that rattles the insecure, because his worth is self-forged. If they praise him, he nods. If they slander him, he shrugs. Either way, his path remains untouched. Detachment from validation is liberation. Second, command over chaos. The world thrives on disorder. Crises appear without warning. Weak men crumble, strong men improvise, but ascended men orchestrate. They don't just react to chaos, they turn it into opportunity. When storms hit, you become the calm in the eye. When empires fall, you stand like steel amidst the ashes. The ascended aura is forged not in peace, but in fire, and that fire makes you unbreakable. Third, the cold use of loyalty. Machiavelli warned, loyalty is a myth. Men are loyal only as long as it serves them. But the ascended man understands this and bends it. He makes loyalty profitable. He rewards followers, so they cling tighter. He punishes betrayal, so it becomes unthinkable. Loyalty is not requested, it is engineered. By controlling incentives and consequences, you transform fragile loyalty into a fortress that surrounds you. Fourth, the refusal to kneel to money. By now you understand money is not your master. It is your instrument. The ascended aura treats money as soldiers on a battlefield. They are deployed with purpose, withdrawn when wasted, multiplied when invested. To you, wealth is not comfort, it is positioning. It buys silence, it buys reach, it buys time, but it never buys you. That detachment is terrifying to those who live enslaved by it. Fifth, the shaping of legacy. The untouchable aura is not just for today. The ascended man thinks in decades. Every action plants seeds that grow into forests of influence. Every word is a stone in the architecture of legacy. You are not building moments, you are building monuments. This long horizon makes you unstoppable because the short-sighted cannot battle the long-sighted. And finally, the embodiment of inevitability. The ascended aura radiates one truth: I cannot be stopped. Failure becomes fuel, loss becomes leverage, setbacks become stepping stones. When others watch you, they must see inevitability in your stride, inevitability in your calm, inevitability in your victories. This aura bends reality itself. When people believe you cannot be defeated, they align with you because no one wants to fight destiny. Understand this clearly. The ascension is not for everyone. Most will hear these words and remain the same, comfortable, weak, dependent. But a few, a chosen few, will rise. They will train their aura until it becomes a weapon. They will detach from need, master silence, enforce consequence, wield wealth, and project inevitability. They will become untouchable. And when they do, the world will not recognize them. The world will obey them. That is your path. That is your ascension. Now I ask you, what will you choose? Will you remain prey, circling in the shadows of indecision? Or will you rise into the fortress of self-sovereignty? Will you continue to beg for wealth, or will you become the man it hunts? Your aura is your kingdom. Train it, harden it, weaponize it, and watch as reality bends to your presence. Comment below. I ascend beyond limits. And if you're ready to keep building this fortress of the mind, do it now. Like this video, subscribe to Mental Fort, and turn on notifications. Every word I've given you here is a weapon, but the weapons sharpen only if you return. Remember, wealth is not luck. Power is not chance. Aura is not magic. They are all trained, forged, and mastered. Train yours and ascend.